The past few years have made many people reevaluate their lives with the aim of leading a more balanced, spiritual and stress-free life. The end goal of many spiritual seekers is to become enlightened. When we think of an enlightened person, we all think of the Buddha meditating. But what exactly is enlightenment? Who was the Buddha and how did he get there? In the next few minutes of this video, you'll learn who the Buddha was, how he became enlightened, what he learned when meditating, and most importantly, how you can become enlightened too, so stay tuned. The Buddha lived around 2,600 years ago and is one of the most influential figures in world history. He was the founder of Buddhism, one of the world's largest religions, and his teachings provide a path from suffering to enlightenment. He didn't claim to be a god, just an ordinary person. Called Siddhartha Gautama, Gautama being his surname, his disciples addressed him as Buddha, meaning one who is awake. Gautama was born in Nepal and raised in India. Traditional stories portray Gautama as a prince raised in a palace. After living a sheltered life surrounded by luxury and pleasure in his younger years, at the age of 29, Gautama ventured out of his palace for the very first time. During this journey, he saw how ordinary people live and encountered the 4 signs. First, he saw a sick man, then an old man, then a corpse for the very first time. This experience shook him to his core. He realised that his status as a prince would not save him from sickness, old age and death. He then saw a holy man devoted to finding the cause of human suffering. This gave Gautama the urge to find an end to suffering of all beings too. He renounced his worldly life and began a spiritual quest. He sought spiritual teachers and punished his body with ascetic practices such as extreme, prolonged fasts, believing that treating the body harshly was the way to elevate the mind and that the key to wisdom was found at the edge of death. However, after 6 years of this practice, Gautama felt only frustration. Eventually, he realised that the path to peace was through mental discipline. At Bodh Gaya in India, he sat in meditation beneath a Bodhi tree. There, he decided to stay until he found the cause of suffering. He was determined nothing would make him move until he became enlightened. Gautama sat meditating. He felt weightless and his thoughts became clear. During this meditation state, he acquired the 3 knowledges. The first knowledge he acquired was that of reincarnation. He learnt of his past lives and the past lives of all beings. He saw that he had died many times before and that his soul had been reborn each time. He saw all the things he had done in these lives, the good as well as the bad. And finally, he realised that all souls are connected, and our individual soul is a fragment of the universal mind. The second knowledge he acquired was of the law of karma, which is the process of using each life cycle, incarnation, to grow our soul's moral quality, to become a less fearful and more loving soul, thus helping the universal mind as a whole to grow and evolve. The third knowledge he acquired was that he was free of all obstacles and released from attachments. He understood life was an illusion, nothing is permanent, and he was released from samsara, the cycle of birth and death in the human realm. He had reached nirvana, a state where a person's desires and sufferings all go away, and they need nor want anything. This meant when his physical body died and his soul entered the bardo, the intermediate state between death and rebirth, his soul would be merged back with the universal mind. He could consciously choose not to be reborn here in the physical plane, but instead in one of the many other non-earth realms to continue his soul's evolution. At this moment of realization and awakening, Gautama had become the Buddha. He had attained enlightenment. The Four Noble Truths are traditionally identified as the first teaching given by the Buddha after his enlightenment. The first noble truth the Buddha teaches us is that life is suffering. This truth is based on the idea that life is full of impermanence, pain and loss. The second noble truth is that attachment causes suffering. This truth is based on the idea that we all suffer because we are attached to things that are not permanent. The third noble truth states that it is possible to end suffering. This truth is based on the idea that we can end our suffering by letting go of our attachments. The fourth noble truth teaches us that there is a path to the end of suffering. This truth is based on the idea that we can end our suffering by following the eightfold path. These are not steps, but rather 8 principles that can lead to the end of suffering and ultimately achieve enlightenment. The 8 ideals are: right view. Death is not the end. The actions and beliefs in life have consequences after death. Right intention. Being clear about following the Buddhist path. Right speech. Speaking truthfully. Right action. Acting in a skillful way and not harming others. Right livelihood. Earn a living in a way that doesn't cause pain or suffering to others. Right effort. Putting effort into positive emotions and states. Right mindfulness. Awareness of yourself and the emotions of others. Right concentration. Cultivating focus so that you are able to meditate. Following the Buddha's enlightenment, he spent the remainder of his life travelling and teaching. The Buddha's sermons and teachings pointed to the true nature of reality, which is known within Buddhism as the Dharma. The Buddha died around the age of 80. His final words are reported to have been, "Let the Dharma be your teacher. All things are impermanent, and if you see this with wisdom, you can turn away from suffering." Although the Buddha died over 2,500 years ago, his life and teachings continue to inform millions of people around the world, providing them with a path to enlightenment. If you would like to learn more about meditating, check out our previous video, where you can learn the secret of how to meditate. Also, be sure to subscribe to our channel to stay tuned for future videos. Happy meditating!